What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid and welcome back to my 100% perfect walkthrough for Crisis Core Reunion. We are now on part number 2 and we're basically going to finish up Wutai and then we can start all of the madness with the missions. It's like we're going to be doing the magic pot farming trick in the optimal setup. We're going to get a bunch of really overpowered materia and then we're just sort of going to laugh at all the future bosses. That sounds about right. But coming up though, we do have a boss battle first. We're going to have to fight Vajradahara. I totally butchered the pronunciation for that name. We have to fight 2 of them. And then we do have to fight Ifrit right after, and then we can go ahead and start the actual mission shenanigans. But I do have something to say, guys. Speaking of shenanigans, if you don't know, I do stream over on Twitch, and tonight, so later today from watching this video, there is going to be a special celebration stream over on Twitch. I would do it to YouTube as well, like I would dual stream it, but unfortunately I will be limited to using my phone, so unfortunately it is one platform only. I apologize. However, if you want to join in the celebration, then go ahead and check down below in the description. My Twitch channel's linked down there, and we'll be streaming from around 7 PM UK time. So that'll be 7 PM GMT. I apologize for American viewers, but I don't know what time it will be in PST or anything like that. But again, like, it will be like 7 PM GMT. What I will try and do is this video will go up sort of early in the day. In fact, you know what? I'm going to set this video to go live at 1 PM. So that means when this video is 6 hours old, then I will be live over on Twitch. I will also set another video, so part 3 of this walkthrough, I will set that to go live at 6 PM, so 1 hour before the stream. Then that way, once you guys finish watching part 3, it'll basically be time for the stream to start. As I say though, it's basically going to be a little celebration stream, you know, lots of alcohol, lots of drinking games. I will be joined by the lovely Rubbish Gaming TV as well for some memes and some funs. And of course the lovely Gem will be taking part as well. So if you want to have a nice little bar experience, have some laughs, enjoy some memes, then well, come on over and have some fun. It's like we're celebrating quite a few things, but I don't want to give them away just yet. So I don't want to let it slip what we're celebrating just yet. But it is something a little special, and I think you guys will probably enjoy it. So make sure you come on over. Alright, with that out of the way though, I feel like I've plugged Twitch a little much there. Let's get back to actually 100%ing this game, shall we? So obviously right now we are basically at the very end of Wutai. We do still have to do a few little things. We do still have to beat Ifrit, but Ifrit isn't really going to be a problem, especially because we're going to get a lovely little armlet from murdering this guy. Well, no, the armlet's actually after, isn't it? Yeah, the armlet is during the cutscene. It's the reward for doing all 16 battles in the previous minigame. That's what we get the award for. Although one thing to note, right, the boss that we just beat there, he gave us Blizzard Blade for actually killing him. That is actually a different reward to the original PSP version. If you don't know, the original reward for that fight in the PSP was a HP up materia, which we got. And then the second reward for killing the other one was originally a Vit up materia. So that's actually changed to Blizzard Blade now. I'm not quite sure why they made that change. Like, it's one of those things that to me it doesn't necessarily make, you know, a whole lot of sense. But hey, you know, if the devs decided to change it, then they decided to change it. Who am I to complain, right? I have to admit though, I do actually like this cutscene because it really goes to show like Zack's level of growth. It also shows his current weakness compared to like first class members. So it really solidifies the amount of growth he goes through in game, both on an emotional level, but also on a strength level as well. It's like you got Angela who just comes in and literally one-shots the guy, and Zach's just treated like a punching bag.
You lost your focus.
Yeah, he just lost focus. That's all it was. That's all it was. No.
Oh, sorry if your sword got any wear.
Right, so we're going to get the fire armlet, and that is actually what we're going to equip straight away as well. I'm going to leave the curse ring off. I know I mentioned it in the last video, but we don't really need the curse ring at the minute. Obviously, since the game started, we've only had one character level up. That's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna stress too much about trying to rig the DMW as much as I possibly can. I might do that later. Like I might start rigging the DMW later. I'm not 100% sure though. We'll have to see how we get on with that. But yeah, for now, like we're not earning enough EXP at the minute to really warrant rigging the DMW. It's like by the time we get Magic Pot, we'll still only be like level 10, level 11. Like we're really not gonna gain that many levels till then. So yeah, we're not gonna bother with rigging super early, because as I mentioned in the last one, it doesn't really save that much time. So it's like, I don't know, I don't really see the point in doing it this early. Obviously though, if you're playing a low level game where, you know, you can't level up, then yeah, you have to use the curse ring. We're not doing that though. It's like anybody who has seen some of my Crisis Core videos knows, yeah, I like being overpowered as early as possible. I like literally just breaking the game wide open. And in fact, that's actually kind of, you know, where my roots on YouTube are from. Like, I know we've recently gained a whole bunch of new subs and that. So if you guys enjoy the guides that I've put out recently, like just breaking the game wide open, what I would do is I would suggest checking on the channel for my Overpowered playlist. It's basically where I ridiculously break Final Fantasy games, as well as some other JRPGs, ridiculously early. It's like, there was Final Fantasy 12, for example, which took me, oh god, that was hundreds and hundreds of hours. There was Final Fantasy 10, which I broke before Shiva, where, you know, we were pretty much dealing max damage and all that sort of stuff. Highly recommend checking that series out, though, if you are a fan of ridiculously breaking games early. It's like, I know I think that's probably what most people like I've started following this channel for. It probably is that most people started following for. It's just what I'm known for, you know. I love grinding. I love breaking things as early as possible. So needless to say, you guys know exactly what is coming in this playthrough, especially with the fact we'll be getting missions in like 10 minutes. Oh man, I cannot wait for that. It's like, even though there's not really a lot of meat in the missions, you know, like they're not very long. There's nothing overly special about them, you know, there's nothing like that. I like them just for the simple fact of I can break the game with them. Right, before we go to fight Ifrit though, let's change a few things. I'm going to take Cure off and I'm going to throw HP up on. I'm going to take the Bronze Bangle off and we're going to throw the Fire Armlet on. The reason I'm leaving the earrings on is more magic, more damage. And I don't really care if my health gets a little bit lower, considering the fact that I've literally just halved all of Ifrit's damage, pretty much. So, with that done, let's go. It's like we don't even need to save. Alright, let's go fight Ifrit. I will say though, if you're doing this on hard mode as well, Ifrit's gonna have a ton of health. So if you don't know, normal mode Ifrit has like 6,500 HP. If you're playing this on hard mode, he has around 20,000. So that's quite a lot of damage that you have to do this early in the game. So if you are playing on hard mode, make sure you come into the fight with a couple of extra ethers, just so you can refill your MP and then just run around spamming Blizzard pretty much. Oh dude, really? This is kind of the only problem with Ifrit. Like, he dodges Blizzard magic so easy. At the very least, though, he himself is also, you know, pretty easy to dodge. Okay, and he's not facing me for some reason. That's weird. You know what? I'm just gonna not let him hit me. Okay, never mind. Spoke too soon. That's literally karma in a nutshell. That happens all the time. I will always say something, and then karma just, like, shits on me, basically. And you know what? I don't think this guy does actually have about 6,500 health anymore. I wonder if they tweaked it in the remaster. Because we've definitely done more than 6,000 damage now. Oh, I couldn't completely stop Hellfire. It's fine, though. I really wish they upgraded the cutscenes for summons, though. It's like, unfortunately, they didn't. This is the PSP cutscene. You can always tell when a CGI cutscene hasn't been touched or anything. You'll notice that it was a lot darker, and it had, like, a grey tint to it, so the contrast was, like, really low on it. It's like the colouring just really wasn't all there, sadly. It's one of the big tells for unremastered cutscenes. Plus, the model just looked way worse. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. They did actually remaster some of the summons, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I wanna say they did Bahamut's, like they changed Bahamut's cutscene. Now Sephiroth just shows up to save the day. He's stealing all my credit, man. I have to admit, though, I do wish we could play as Sephiroth in this game. That would be so cool. Because, like, I know you get to play as him a little bit in, you know, the OG FF7. You get that little tiny section in the Corn flashback, Nibelheim, where Sephiroth's in the party, but you don't really get to control him. Whereas, imagine here with, like, the hack and slash style being able to play as Sephiroth. That would be so good. Kind of a shame we didn't actually get a mission like that, you know what I mean? Although, who knows, now that the game's on, like, PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, all that, maybe we'll actually get some DLC. Maybe we'll actually get some DLC missions. And then, maybe, just maybe, we can actually play Sephiroth. Who knows? I do really hope so, though. Could you guys imagine it? It would be amazing. Like, it would definitely be one of the best things ever, just being able to play as Sephiroth with the Masamune, his ridiculously fast speed, all his slash combos, being able to use Supernova. Oh yeah, that's chapter 1 complete, by the way. Alright, let's not save the game, and we're going to proceed to the next chapter without saving, because it doesn't matter. Alright, chapter 2. This now is where things really open up. But before we do any of the missions, we're going to first unlock some missions. And, we're basically going to do sort of, you know, all the optional stuff first. It's like we'll do all of that, we'll unlock all the missions, and then we'll start doing the actual missions themselves. It's like the main goal right now is to burn through the missions as, you know, as quickly as possible, and then we're gonna basically work on unlocking magic pots. The reason we want magic pots is just so we can do the magic pot farm, basically. It's like that's currently the next goal. The reason I want to do magic pot farm is I want to get 5 gold rolling pins. That will give me 250,000 gil, and ideally, I would get some extra Phoenix Downs. If I don't, that's not a problem, though. But I do want to hopefully get a Shinra Beta Plus as well. And if I'm lucky, maybe a Kaiser Knuckle. But the Kaiser Knuckle isn't really, you know, that important. It is basically just the Beta Plus I want. Because it gives a massive 80 to Vitality. And being able to upgrade my Vitality by an extra 80 points that easily, it's gonna make later missions incredibly smoother. Like, it's gonna be night and day. The Beta Plus will make a huge difference for doing, like, the harder missions early. So that's gonna be what we're aiming for. Just gotta have the cutscenes first, though.
But we've lost contact. I want you to go and investigate. He will go with you. Song of the Turks.
This job is looking really gloomy.
Let me know when you're ready to go.
Oh, okay. So we've got songs DMW. We're not gonna bother with that though. It's like, in fact, we're kind of just gonna ignore song for like the next 5 hours. Yeah, like we're not gonna bother going to Benora for a long time. It's like Benora's gonna be after we do all the other missions. So needless to say, we're gonna have absolutely tons and tons of good materia by then. There will be a few minigames in Benora that we need to do though. It's like, one of them can be a little tricky as well. The other one, not so much. Right, do not do this mission, okay? I know the game tells you to do 811. Do not do it. If you do that early, it's going to screw up the magic pot farm, and we do not want that. Also, we're on a new chapter, so we need to interact with the little locker here. You should do this every chapter possible, and you will get a new item each time. Also, let's just go ahead and get rid of the mail that we have. I don't know why, but it just triggers me seeing that that little dot, the little yellow dot there. It really triggers me. Alright, so now that we have Thunder, good old Kunsel is going to take us down to town pretty much. So this is now where we can start joining fan clubs for other Soldier First members, and we can also start unlocking some quests as well. Yeah, I know it's Sector 8, man.
Wait, what? Don't you get it? You usually have so little time before assignments. If you want to go back. See ya, Zach.
Oh, okay, little tutorial finished there. Now with that out of the way, that's actually pretty much the last time Kunsel will drag us around anywhere. So first things first, we need to speak to the 3 fans here. There's a Genesis fan, a Sephiroth fan, and an Angeal fan. We need to join all of the fan clubs, okay? This is important for 2 trophies later on. Both of them are related to the fan clubs. So we need to join them all, and we basically need to get every mail and do everything we can for the fan clubs. This is actually really simple in execution. It basically just entails that every chapter you can, you basically just come and speak to them. That is pretty much all you need to do for the fan clubs. But again, remembering to do it every single chapter, it can be forgotten, yes. One of the things we are going to do, though, in a minute is we're going to unlock a set of missions from the Shinra Captain. We need to unlock those missions and complete them, and then, after we complete those missions, we need to speak to him again, okay? The reason we need to speak to him again is once you do his missions, he will give you an item which we need for a quest way later in chapter 7. And there we go, we're now in the Genesis fan club. But yeah, the item he gives us is for way later, for a quest in chapter 7 that involves building a flower wagon for Aerith. There are 3 wagons to build, 1 is part of the story, 2 are optional, and you need 4 items for each wagon. So basically we need to collect 8 items, and 1 of them is from the Shinra Captain right now. So, now that we've joined the fan clubs, obviously you can't join Sephiroth's at the minute, you can only join Genesis and Angeal's. That's normal, we can join Sephiroth's club later. For now though, we need to go speak to another Genesis fan, we need to speak to the Shinra Captain, and we need to get a mail. So, we're going to speak to the Captain first and foremost. So, he is going to give us mission 1-2-1. And again, the main reason for this is obviously we need 100% mission completion, and we need the item for Aerith's flower wagon later. Yeah, like you could deal with me, buddy.
What do you mean?
He's tooting his own horn, man. He's tooting his own horn.
Who is
is it that catches the crooks who steal change from vending machines? Who is it that warns young people talking loudly on their phones in train? That is all us. So,
Thank.
you won't be so arrogant for much long. Security against soldier. We'll find...
Yes, you will. You'll definitely find out who is stronger. Right, so now that we've spoke to him, we've got the mission unlocked. Honestly, you can skip these little dialogues if you really want to. There's nothing too important for the most part in these optional ones. Right, so this Genesis fan, we need to speak to her because she is basically a second Genesis fan club. So there's the normal Genesis fan club, and then there's the Loveless fan club. This person right here, even though she's called Genesis fan, it's actually the Loveless fan group. So Genesis has 2, Sephiroth has 1 or 2, I can't remember if they're the same one or not, and then Jill has 1. Right, so we spoke to her, so we're now part of that group as well. So right now, we've seen 4 different male groups, and also you do need to walk over here for a new male as well. But yeah, so right now, we've seen 4 groups. Okay, the first one we've seen is the Sephiroth group, the Angeal group, the Genesis group, and finally the second Genesis group. There's not much more we can do with that than now, but it is going to be important later, so make sure you speak to these and join all of them. Okay, you are going to need that for 2 trophies later. For now though, we've done everything there, so we can go back to Shinra. We are going to speak to this lady right here. So anytime you are able to access Shinra HQ, you can speak to this woman and she'll give you a special potion. It will basically give you automatic re-raise. So this basically acts as a free Phoenix down. And that's why whenever it comes to doing big mission stints like we're going to in a minute, I would always strongly suggest doing it here in Shinra HQ. That way you never have to use your own Phoenix Downs or anything like that. You can just speak to her and get a free one. Always having a free, Phoenix Down just makes life infinitely easier when it comes to doing the higher missions. Right, so Kuntal wants us to go to the briefing room. We're going to give him the finger and completely ignore that because we still have other things to do. So first of all, we'll head over right now. Yeah, sure. We're going to choose that just to skip the cutscene where he leads us over there. We don't need him to show us where it is. So, now that we're back on the soldier floor though, we need to go to the materia room. And the reason we need to go to the materia room is 1, it unlocks a new set of missions for us, and 2, it will actually give us some incredibly good materia. For example, it's going to give us gravity materia, and gravity materia early on is ridiculously broken. Okay, it is incredibly strong, and now that we have that, it is time to actually do some missions. I'm not going to go back down to the basement, like the base floor just yet. I will do that after. For now though, we have a few things we want to get. So if you are following the walkthrough, I strongly suggest doing the missions in the exact order I am about to do them. So we're going to start with mission 821 first. And we're just going to work through the list of the 8-2 missions. So 821, 822, 823, 824, and 825. Where's the treasure chest status? We are also going to be getting all the treasure chests as well as we go. It's like, it's not really necessary. For example, a lot of treasure chests don't really have any, like truly amazing items. But some of them do. These early ones don't though, so you can skip them if you really want to. But I'm not going to, we're just going to get them. Likewise, if I end up in a battle with any mobs, it would actually be quicker for me to just, skip them, run away from the fights. Because fighting them this early when we don't really have access to anything strong does take time. But again, it doesn't really matter too much, so I'm going to fight them regardless. I am going to heal now though, because I took a bit of damage there and I've got no MP left. Nice. Let's do the first mission, shall we? Oh, I wanted my eyes to go off. See, unfortunately, the enemies with no, magic weakness, unfortunately, are a pain early on. Because obviously, in Crisis Core, magic is ridiculously strong. And sadly, almost everything is weak to Blizzard, and Blizzard is the easiest one for enemies to dodge. But yeah, the enemies that don't have an actual, like, elemental resistance, sadly, take forever to kill. I mean, there are other ways you could do it, like, you could use Assault Twister like I just was. But sadly, when it comes to actual damage, Blizzard just wins. It's like, that's 400 damage of Blizzard right there. So in case you hadn't noticed, we're going to be going through the vast majority of the game now. Pretty much just, you know, spamming as much magic as we can. Like, that's pretty much all we're going to do at this point. And obviously, every time we come out of the mission, we're automatically on the save point, so we will fully heal. So we don't need to worry about that. We can just jump straight into the next one. Once we do mission 8 to 5, then we're going to go speak to the actual researcher that gave us the quest, because he's going to give us gravity materia, and that's going to massively speed up the missions. I am, however, going to try and avoid all the other missions now by running around the edge, just so we can get through them that little bit faster. And, you know, these are the only, like, grass type enemies that actually aren't weak to fire magic. All the others pretty much are. Just a shame these aren't. Means we have to use a few more spells to get through them. At least I don't need to worry so much about MP anyway. Alright, so there's another set done. Right. So now let's move on to mission 823, shall we? When it loads, there we go. Right, 823. So once again, same thing. We're just going to ignore the trash. We're going to go for the treasure chests. Mainly due to the fact the only reason we are doing these missions is because I really want gravity magic. And of course that is for two different reasons. Namely, we want gravity for, you know, just straight up damage, pretty much, because it is incredibly strong. But other than that, we want it for later. We are actually going to need it later on for unlocking Magic Pot. And that's the main reason we get it. Obviously, the extra speed is super nice, but it's not required. I will also say as well, if you have the pre-order bonus for Crisis Core Reunion, such as Dark Fire, Dark Blizzard, use that over the normal version. In terms of differences, it is basically just the normal version, only it inflicts statuses. So you should always use that over the normal version. When it comes to the normal version, there is absolutely nothing special about using it, okay? Alright, so let's go get the HP stone. Now, this area is one of the worst areas in the game, okay? When you're in a big open area like this, finding the actual items is a major pain in the butt. Also, so is dodging enemies, unfortunately. So you are going to have to, if you do want to dodge as many enemies as possible, stay as close as to the red line as you can. And that'll basically act like a normal wall will. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now because the last treasure chest we need is on the other side of the field. So we just have to brave across and hope we don't actually get into a random encounter. Which, surprisingly, we didn't. That's kind of a miracle. Right, we've got all 4 treasure chests. Let's go for the boss now. Luckily enough, we can kill that pretty easily with some Blizzard magic. Pretty soon as well, we will start to get the raw spells, which is going to massively increase the speed that we can clear these stages. It's like right now, these stages are going incredibly slow. There are a few things we can do to massively speed stages up, but we can't do them just yet. Also, any memories that come up like that, I'm just going to skip, basically, because they are kind of boring to watch. But yeah, so there are a few points where we can do things to massively speed the progression of missions up. Unfortunately, at the first, there isn't really much we can do. It's like, we'll just sort of have to slug through some of the earlier ones, but then as we start getting through them, we start getting better spells, we can start doing more materia fusion. Although obviously we don't have access to that just yet. It's like we'll get that shortly. For now though, let's just go back to missions. It's like we just need to do one more and then we can go and get the gravity spell, which I will be equipping right away. It's like gravity is... oh, it's amazing early on. It's like we'll be using gravity and poison for a lot of mobs coming up. I did not mean to do that, so we're just going to run away. That was a complete accident. I did not mean to encounter that. But yeah, gravity and poison is a ridiculously good combo early on. It's like you basically poison mobs, and then you use gravity to lower their health, and then you just sort of run away while you wait for poison to kill them. Obviously, you know, like some enemies will just straight up one-shot you, right? Well, that's why we use that sort of combination. Aw. Can't believe my fire missed them, man. But yeah, that's why we use that sort of combination. Because aside from the fact gravity massively lowers their health, it also means we can stay far away and stay safe while we wait for poison to kill things. The main thing that we will do that strategy on is going to be, they're not chocobos, they're more like ostriches. It's like, it's mainly going to be those sorts of enemies that we do that strategy on because they hurt a lot. Also, we just finished 825, so now we're going to go and turn the mission in. It's like, for every mission we just turned in, he's going to give us a new materia. You can do 826 if you really want to, but right now, I'm not going to. We'll simply go back to that later on. For now, we're just going to keep skipping all of this. Also, you are perfectly able to click no way, and you will still get your materia. If you click the other option, you just simply watch them make it, so it just wastes time. So if you click by all means, you just see them make the materia. It's nothing special, it's rather boring. But again, you can do it if you want. In fact, you know what, I'll show it off now. It's like, I might as well, right? Yeah, come on, buddy. Faster, faster. You're slowing my magic pot farm down, dude. Right, by all means. Okay, so this is all it does if you choose by all means. It's like, there is literally nothing here. In fact, I should probably turn auto advance back on, shouldn't I? And while this is doing, I'm going to have a quick drink.
Concentration rate at 20, 30, 40, steady at 50%.
Increase main engine output. The first 30 seconds of the process is crucial.
Aye, aye, sir. Output 80% and rising.
Concentration still static. Ready cooling system. Increase Mako output to maximum.
Output at 120%. 1 minute until we reach critical point.
Mako energy concentration rate is rising. 70, 80, 90%.
Which, as you can see, nothing really that exciting in this cutscene. And also, I should probably say, it doesn't change. It's literally this cutscene 6 times over. That's why you should probably just click, like, no way and skip it.
Shutdown confirmed. Hello, Materia.
Alright, there we go. Oh, excuse me. Alright, give me the materia, buddy. Right, that's silence. So, now we're going to do the same, only... oh, excuse me. But yeah, we're going to do the same now. Only, we're just going to keep skipping all the dialogue now, basically. It's like, there's no way, and there's no real way to watch any of this. It's all the same thing over and over. Alright, so Silence Blade, one more conversation, and we will have gravity. And then we can change our materia around and move on. No, I don't want to watch. Although what I'm going to do is, I'm not actually going to put poison on just yet. We're going to leave poison off for a minute, okay? The main reason for that is, right now, it wouldn't actually be that helpful. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't actually be that beneficial. Also, I definitely need to take Assault Twister off because that's very close to actually mastering, and we don't want that. Now, what you can do is, if you want to, you can take HP up off for something. That is entirely up to you. Me, personally, I'm going to just leave it on, just because, you know, I would want it to level up, because we can actually combine that with other things later on to get more HP, which, needless to say, is what we're going to do. For now, though, now that we have gravity and we've equipped it, it's time to go back for more missions. This time, though, we are going to do the mission 6-1 chain, okay? So once we do these, well, I should say the main reason for doing these is in 615, so mission 615, one of the enemies in that field is actually the Tonberry enemy. We need to kill that Tonberry in order to unlock stage 10-2-1. And the main reason for that is in mission 1023, we can actually then get a magic pot. And that's what we're aiming for. That's pretty much like the first thing we're aiming for. Also, this is why we want gravity, because it does the most damage early on, pretty much across the board regardless of what we use. Or should I say what we fight. Oh dude, stop dodging please. I hate these enemies, man. They dodge so easily. Oh well, it's fine, we still killed it. But yeah, the main rush right now is just to unlock Magic Pot. And then, once we have Magic Pot, we are going to do the AFK Magic Pot grind. So if you're curious about that, I did make a dedicated video specifically to that. But that is basically what we are aiming for. It's like I want to get 5 gold rolling pins. I want to get a Shinra Beta Plus. Like I definitely want a Shinra Beta Plus. That's just going to prove to be like far too helpful. That is like infinitely helpful. And then from there, we're basically gonna move on. You know, like if I get other stuff during the Magic Pot grind, then you know we might change plans a little bit. But for the most part, that's sort of what we're planning basically. Oh, poison really? God damn it! Oh no, that's MP. Yeah, we're gonna be buying a lot of ethers as well, I should say. It's like we're going to buy a lot of ethers this run. Magic is just way too strong compared to your normal hits. It's pretty much the same with command materia. There's not a lot of command materia that's really that good either. It's like, yeah, you do have some like aerial drain or costly punch and so on and so forth. But for the most part, especially early on, we're going to be spamming the ever-living heck out of magic pretty much. Alright, let's go. Next mission. Also, what I'm going to say is 623, it rewards us with the jump materia, which we are going to need. However, there is also a dash materia in one of the treasure chests. Now, dash is really, really good, okay? Not for its material effect. In fact, its material effect is actually really, really bad. Also, I'm going to skip this fight. Its material effect basically just means you can run faster in fights. It's really not that amazing. Why we want it, though, is because it's actually really, really good for materia fusion. So basically, once we unlock materia fusion, we're going to be using that dash pretty much instantly to get something. It's like I just haven't quite decided yet on what I'm going to get with it. It's like there are quite a few good combinations that you can use with dash. It just depends on which one I decide to go for. Like which one I think I'm going to need the most. Because obviously, when commentating a video, like obviously right now, I'm commentating while playing. So, I'm talking exactly while I'm doing things. Which typically means that my focus isn't entirely on the game. Like my focus is also on the commentary and giving you guys the information. So because of that, I might choose to play, a bit more conservative, a bit safer. I probably won't, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. Because obviously I don't want to get stuck at a specific point and wall for ages, you know what I mean? So I might actually end up just playing it, a little safer. But again, I will offer, all the information needed anyway. Let's get rid of the trap first, just because it's easier to kill. Alright, worm time. It's like I could use gravity on these, but... Oh, absolutely stop. Ugh. I could use gravity on these, but honestly, I don't really see the point. Come on, give me cloud. There we go. So we'll just chain slash it. It's not going to kill it, but it's going to do a nice chunk of damage. Not quite enough to kill it, though, unfortunately. Okay, nice. We leveled gravity up. We do want to level gravity up, I should say, because we want to turn that into a Graviger magic with materia fusion. Because then we can use Graviger to turn into something else. But aside from that, we also want Graviga because it deals 50% damage of a mob's health. And it also, fun fact, if you combine that with like an SP Master, you can actually make it so gravity damage, it kills things. But we're not gonna be able to do that for a very, very long time anyway. Right, on this stage we are going to get our last required materia for Magic Pot, which is going to be Fire. I am also going to equip that right now. We're going to replace the normal Fire Magic with that. Simply due to the fact it's an upgraded version. We're going to come up here, kill the Tonberry, and again, we're just going to spam Gravity pretty much. It's like we're not even going to let him get close to us, we're just going to use Gravity with most of our MP. And then we're going to use an Ether, and finally murder him with Fire. Okay, well we'll use Sephiroth. Whichever works. Didn't die though. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just use Fire to finish him off. Right, so now with that Tonberry killed, once we complete this stage, we'll actually unlock mission 10-2-1. Once we have that, we are immediately going straight there, basically. It's like for now though, we just need to kill the bombs and the worms and stuff. And then we will end up doing the Magic Pot farm. Oh man, they keep dodging me. At least pretty soon though, like we're gonna get the good magic. It's like we really don't actually have much to go now until we start getting some really good stuff, which is gonna make this go much faster. And obviously when it comes to things like this, speed is always the name of the game. Simply due to how many nearly out of MP. Simply due to, you know, like how many missions we have to do, the more speed we have, the better. So obviously, better materia, better speed. What I will say though is if you really want to, you can do this later. You don't have to do this in Chapter 2 like I'm doing. You can do it in Chapter 3 when you've had your Soldier class upgraded. You can do it in Chapter 4 where you can get your extra accessory slots. You don't specifically have to do it this early. Right, now we're going for Tonberry. Right, so mission 10-2-1. Now, what I will say is, for these missions, you are going to be fighting a lot of Tonberries, okay? However, just like before, we're just going to skip them. It's like there's really no point in fighting them. All they are going to do is slow us down. So all we're going to fight is the Tonberry at the end of this stage. Well, after we get the treasure chest from just along here anyway. We're going to fight one Tonberry at the end of this stage. That's going to go literally the exact same way the Tonberry just went. Then in the next stage, we are going to fight 4 Tonberries all at once. But again, it's going to be exactly the same as just anyway. Oh, we got the amulet. I was not expecting that. Oh well, doesn't really... Oh yeah, I should probably actually take the blaze, the fire amulet off, shouldn't I? What should I put on? Spirit 30, I might actually do that. That's quite a nice increase. I could go with that though, which also prevents poison. Yeah, I'll go the amulet, Spirit 30. It means more magic defense, which is always nice. It's like Spirit and Vitality are definitely the 2 most important stats in this game by miles. Especially once you start getting up to like maximum. It's like there's a pretty big difference between near max and max, for sure. Oh, not enough MP. Well, damn. I should have bought some more ethers. Oh, that's fine. We can just murder him with critical hits. He's not going to do anything. Right, so first Tonberry dead. I am going to use the store now, though. I do need to buy more ethers. It's like I could change my materia around as well, but I don't really feel like I need to be honest. So shop, Shinra, ethers. Just buy 7 for now. It's like we don't really need more than that. 7 is more than enough for us right now. That, and pretty soon we'll be able to just buy 99 of them anyway. So we don't need to go out of our way for that. Right, 1 treasure chest again. This one's going to be pretty much right next to the Tonberry, to be honest. So again, just run through hugging the walls as you go. We're going to hook the left wall here just so we can get the treasure chest on the way. And this way, we're just cutting out all of the random battles. So it's saving us a bunch of time that way. So like, remember, speed is the name of the game. Alright. Okay, 4 Tomberries. At least, thankfully, 3 of them are all grouped up right now, so that's fine. We can get a ton of damage off just using gravity there. Come on. I want the middle one. As long as I can hit all 3 of them, we'll be fine. Right, one more hit. There we go. Right, now that we've hit them with gravity a few times, we can just murder them with fire and magic. No, wrong one. Alright, last one. We'll just use another ether. Honestly, don't worry about using items as well, especially things like ethers. Just burn through them if you need to. They're incredibly, incredibly easy to get, especially soon. It's like the ones I just bought, I'm nearly out of stock on now. So, yes, I am going to... I'm going to have to go and buy some more, unfortunately. It's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but, you know, it is what it is. It's like, it's not gonna impact us, really. I've got 5,000 gil. Actually, what can I sell? You know what, I'm gonna get rid of the X potions. I really don't need them. It's like, X potions are rather bad to use. Silver armlets, yeah, I'll get rid of both of them. I don't need them either. Keep all that stuff. Right, so now we have 12,000 gil. So I'm just going to buy like 30 ethers. Honestly, that's probably more than I need for this point, but either way, we'll still burn through them. I'll pick up 5 remedies as well and a few potions just in case. Better to be safe than sorry, especially with the stage that we're going into now, because we are going to do mission 10-3. This is going to be our main master pot farm. However, this video is starting to get a bit long now, and the master pot farm is going to require a lot of information and setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video right here, and then we will be back with another one where we do the magic pot farm, and then we continue on with all of the extra missions. Still though, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you have, please be sure to smash that like button, and of course, drop a comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more content. As always though, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.